Let's begin by answering the question, where do you work? This seems like a simple question, but there are many ways to answer it. I work at, I work in, I work for, and I work with. Each preposition is correct in a different context. I work at and I work for are used with the name of the company. For example, I work at Espresso English. I work for Nike. You can also use for if you work directly for a famous person. I work for Tom Cruise. I'm his public relations manager. I work in is used in 4 situations. You can say, I work in a place. I work in an office. I work in a school. I work in a factory. You can also use in with a city or a country. I work in Paris. I work in France. I work in is also used with a department or area of a company. I work in the marketing department. I work in human resources. I work in sales. Finally, you can use I work in with a general area. I work in finance. I work in medical research. I work in consulting. You can say I work with the things or people that are the objects of your day-to-day work. For example, I work with computers. I'm a teacher. I work with special needs children. If you want to add more details about your work, you can say, I'm responsible for. I'm responsible for updating the company website. I'm responsible for interviewing candidates for jobs. After I'm responsible for, use the ing form of the verb. Let's review. I work at a company. I work for a company or a person. I work in a place, city, country, department, or general area. I work with people or things. In conversational English, the question where do you work is commonly phrased as what do you do or what do you do for a living. How do you answer this question if you don't have a job? You can say, I'm unemployed, or more indirectly, I'm between jobs at the moment. If you work for yourself, you can say, I'm self-employed. If you have your own company, you can say, I own a small business. Or, more specifically, I own a restaurant, or I own a graphic design company.